Welcome to the Man of Recaps. This is The Walking Dead Season 11, Parts 1 and 2, leading up to Part 3, the final 8 episodes. Season 10 ended on a cliffhanger when Eugene and his crew were ambushed by these stormtrooper-looking guys. Now we learn they're from the Commonwealth. It is a massive, successful survivors community that seems to be a nice, happy place. Now remember, the reason Eugene came here is for a booty call with Stephanie, his radio girlfriend, who turns out is real. She wasn't catfishing him. But the arguably more important reason they came here is to get help for Alexandria. It's in pretty bad shape. Remember, the Whisperers trashed it last season. And the most urgent problem, they're running out of food, which is becoming more and more difficult to scavenge. But now Maggie is back on the show, and she's like, hey, the settlement I just came from had a ton of food. Unfortunately, it was taken over by the Reapers. They're a scary group that came out of nowhere like ghosts, but Maggie's like, hey, I ain't afraid of no ghosts, so we'll all roll up together and take them out. So the group sets off on a mission, and coming with them is Big Bad Negan. He's been on a redemption arc the last few seasons, but Maggie hasn't seen that and is still real mad at him for killing her husband Glenn. When some walkers show up, Maggie and Negan are the last two climbing up this train, and Maggie needs a helping hand. This could be a great opportunity for Negan to earn her trust by saving her, but he decides to go the other way with it. Oh, leaves her to fall, Mufasa'd her. But Maggie's not dying that easy. She manages to rejoin the group, and Negan's like, hey, no hard feelings, you would have done the same thing to me. And there's no time to argue because more walkers coming for him. Maggie's got no choice but to work with him to survive. But it's Daryl who's the MVP here, rolling up on these zombies John Wick style, taking them all out. But the danger's not over, because now they're ambushed by the Reapers. Our group is all separated. Naturally, Negan and Maggie end up together, but luckily Father Gabriel shows up to mediate, along with Maggie's one surviving friend Elijah, who is the cool guy in the mask with the ninja skills. But he's not a Mandalorian who has to keep his mask on. He takes it off instantly like, oh, I'm a normal dude. Meanwhile, Daryl is separated looking for his best friend, Dog, who has been picked up by a Reaper. Oh, you don't want to mess with John Wick's dog. But turns out Daryl knows this Reaper because it's Leah. Yeah, remember from the season 10 bonus episodes, she was Daryl's girlfriend and Dog's original owner. She takes him back to the Reaper compound. Turns out the Reapers were her original crew. They were all soldiers together and then mercenaries before the apocalypse. Daryl's like, hey babe, that's cool. I didn't even know those guys, so I'll join you. So they give him the Reaper entrance exam, and Daryl passes, so he gets to meet the leader of the Reapers, Pope. As you might expect, he is a psycho megalomaniac who believes the Reapers were chosen by God. Why is it so hard to meet normal people in the zombie apocalypse? Then there's a really memorable episode featuring Connie, who made it out of the mines last season and met up with Virgil, the guy Michonne met. The Walking Dead goes full horror for an episode when they take shelter in this haunted house and, are chased by these creepy crawling zombies. But wait, those aren't zombies. These are living people that have just gone full feral and turned into Gollum from Lord of the Rings. They manage to escape, and just then Connie's sister Kelly shows up. She's been searching for her, and now sisters reunited. Now back to the Commonwealth. Stephanie agrees to help sneak them into the radio tower so they can contact back home. But they gotta watch out for the Orange Power Ranger, Chief of Security, Mercer. It's Princess who takes point distracting him, basically by hitting on him. But that doesn't distract him for long. They're caught and in big trouble. Their lawyer is Lance Hornsby, who is basically exactly Better Call Saul. And he gets them off with just community service, clearing out walker duty. But they don't get a thank you. Instead, this kid's like, Mary, you ruined my picnic. And he goes too far when he insults Stephanie. Eugene clocks this kid in the face. But this is a much bigger deal than Eugene realized. Seems like the Commonwealth has a very strict class system. Now, back to Maggie's mission, which is down to just 4 people. Negan's like, hey, I have an idea to get reinforcements from the walkers. Oh, Whisperer style. Maggie and Negan, the new Alpha and Beta. They assault the Reaper compound. It's an epic finale. So now it's time to reveal himself. Hey, sorry girl, but I'm with them. The Reapers suck. You should join us. Leah's conflicted. What's she gonna do? But just then, Pope unveils the Reaper's secret weapon. Oh, it's a medieval rocket-propelled arrow launcher. But Leah's like, whoa, if you fire this thing, you'll hit our brothers who are down in the mix fighting. And Pope's like, hey, if that's God's will, then that's what it is. So now it's time for the Daryl Pope showdown, but it's actually Leah. Oh, who gets him in the back? Daryl's like, awesome, glad you joined the light side, but Leah's not joining him. She's like, Pope had to go, but the Reapers are still my brothers. I'm sticking with him. Oh, she pulls a Kylo Ren, killed Snoke, but staying on the dark side. The Reapers fall back. Wait, did we win? No, you did not. Kylo Leah's just pulled him back so she can fire the Hwacha. But, none of our characters get hit. Long story short, we fight to a stalemate with just a few members on each side. Leah calls in her sniper on the roof, but that's not her, man. It's Father Gabriel, who went in for the priest fight with the Reapers guy and took him out. Daryl channels his inner Rick Grimes. The living are all on the same side, and Maggie agrees to let him go. But then Maggie remembers how they slaughtered her entire community, so she changes her mind and kills the remaining Reapers. No mercy. Leah escapes when Daryl lets her go, but Operation Food Run is a huge success, except almost everyone who came died, including Alden, by the way. R.I.P. Alden. Milton. As for Maggie and Negan, Negan's like, look, Mags, this group apparently isn't big enough for both of us, I'll just be on my way. And Negan leaves the group. Back at Alexandria, things have been rough. They're barely holding it together, but now our crew's back, and for the first time this season, everyone's reunited, including our couples like Daryl and Connie, who have a fun flirtation going, and Father Gabriel and Rosita, who I constantly forget are dating. But wait, what's this? Who's coming now? A bunch of stormtroopers? Yes, Eugene finally talked to the Commonwealth about helping Alexandria, and now Lance Hornsby's like, hey, this place has seen better days. We're happy to help you rebuild, but also anyone who wants can come join us in the Commonwealth. We're immediately teased with a 6-month time jump where Maggie's back at Hilltop facing off against Stormtrooper Daryl. How did we get here? We go back to just a 1-month time jump where a lot of our crew are settled in at the Commonwealth, which truly does seem to be a good place. It's a survivors community on a level we've never seen before. Apparently they've got 50,000 people. It's a real city. The leader of the Commonwealth is Governor Pamela Milton, who seems like a nice person, but our crew doesn't have the best track record with governors. Everyone's assigned jobs based on what they were before the zombie apocalypse. Daryl and Rosita didn't really have jobs before, so they joined the military. Their skills are killing walkers. Daryl gets on the bad side of the incomparable douche that is the governor's son, Sebastian Milton. Normally, Daryl wouldn't put up with this. He'd just go off and live as a woods hermit again. But with Rick and Michonne both off the show, Daryl's taken in their kids, Judith and RJ, so he needs that stormtrooper money to provide for his family. And that is the secretly devious part of the Commonwealth. They're not cannibals, they just use money. And they've got a massive wealth gap between the haves and have-nots. Yumiko, who is a fancy Harvard lawyer, gets to come to fancy parties while her girlfriend Magna's serving the drinks. Anyone who stands up like we are the 99% gets immediately shut down. To Pamela Milton, they're more dangerous than the zombies. But for the most part, life in the Commonwealth is really good, especially for Eugene with his lady love Stephanie. Things are going great between them until one day she ghosts him out of nowhere. And Eugene can't believe he's been dumped. He thinks it's much more likely it's a vast government conspiracy. And turns out he's absolutely correct. This is not Stephanie. In fact, she doesn't even wear glasses. She's just an agent working for her boss, Lance Hornsby, who is in charge of the Commonwealth CIA. He put her undercover to learn this group's secrets, but turns out they don't really have any, so hey bro, sorry we broke your heart. But just as Eugene's feeling real bad, he hears a familiar voice that knows his and Stephanie's radio call signs. Turns out this is the real Stephanie. She's Pamela Milton's assistant we've seen a few times. Although Stephanie was still a fake name, her name is Max. But everything else was real. She built a secret radio and really liked Eugene. But having a secret radio was very illegal, so Mercer, her brother, kept her out of trouble by setting him up with the fake Stephanie thing. She's like, bro, how could you not know that wasn't me? But he's like, hey, a hot girl liked me, I wasn't gonna ask questions. And so these two work it out and truly fall in love. Speaking of romance, Princess continues hitting on Mercer and he's into it. These two start dating. Meanwhile, Carol has put back on her meek housewife cookie baking persona, but she's watching everything real close. Her ex, King Ezekiel, remember has cancer and she does some snooping, finds he's way down the list. So she goes to Lance Hornsby like, hey, I can do a lot more than bake cookies. She helps him out with an off-the-books CIA mission and he gets Ezekiel moved up the list for surgery and hey, he's cancer-free. Now back at Alexandria, where Aaron is the leader these days and the Commonwealth really is helping rebuild. But Maggie has gone back to Hilltop and they're offering to help her too, but she turns them down. She sees right through the Commonwealth's class system BS and wants no part of it. Pamela Milton could care less, like let them keep their little wooden fort, but Lance Hornsby really wanted to make this deal happen because theoretically if the Commonwealth has colonies, he can become the regional governor. And now we start to see Lance Hornsby's crazy side. Oh, we thought he was Saul Goodman, looks like he's Littlefinger. So one day, Aaron and Gabriel are recruited for an outreach mission to this community that lives in an apartment building. It's like, hey guys, the Commonwealth's real cool, we have ice cream and stuff, but oh, their boss starts shooting people up! Yeah, the outreach mission was just a cover for an extermination mission, so as this guy starts executing civilians, Aaron and Gabriel take a stand against it. Now they're under arrest, but they're rescued by none other than Negan. Yes, this is where he wandered off to. It's only been 6 months, but Negan has a girlfriend here. In fact, they're married. In fact, she's pregnant. My man Negan moves quick. Long story short, he gets a message to Maggie, so she comes to join the apartment resistance. But her son Herschel stowed away, and now he's captured by the Commonwealth, so Uncle Negan's gotta bust down there to save him. Now, I call him Uncle Negan these days, but you gotta remember, he was a monster who brutally murdered Herschel's father. But he finally shows some real remorse, like, hey kid, I'm sorry, I'm not that guy anymore, so they put this beef on hold. So working together, our gang takes these Commonwealth soldiers out, and this guy Carlson ends up eaten by the people he pushed off the building. Back at the Commonwealth, Daryl's playing nice with Sebastian Milton, so one day he takes him out for an off-the-books mission. He wants them to break into this zombie-infested house where his friend used to live, and he knows his dad had a bunch of cash in the safe. Yeah, remember, the Commonwealth uses American currency, so cash is still king. But turns out they're not the first people Sebastian sent. He sent a bunch of random civilians who are deep in debt and desperate, and that goes beyond off-the-books mission for Commonwealth soldiers. He's fully just sending poor people to their deaths. Mercer followed him here. They explain the situation. He doesn't confront Sebastian and start a whole thing, but he's now disillusioned with Commonwealth leadership. But the rest of our crew is ready to expose it, along with reporters Connie and Kelly, who have already been working to expose Commonwealth corruption. What they need is some hard evidence, and Eugene knows someone who can help. His girlfriend Max, Pamela Milton's assistant, assistant who has also become disillusioned realize Pamela Milton only cares about money. So Max Mercer goes to her brother, Mike Mercer, like, hey, you're the Commonwealth's poster boy. It's time you stand up for what's right. And Max steals some files that don't reveal everything. There's still some deeper conspiracy we don't understand, but it's enough to print an expose, and the start of the Commonwealth Revolution has started. But meanwhile, Lance Hornsby goes in person to find out what happened at the apartment, where Aaron and Gabriel play it cool with the cover story. He knows they're lying, though, and suspects that Maggie at the hilltop was involved, and so this is where we get the standoff, Maggie versus Stormtrooper Daryl. But when tensions get high, Daryl proves he's on Maggie's side, and Lance is like, whoa, I don't want to fight, we'll leave you in peace. But on the way back, it becomes apparent that our crew's been marked for death, so it turns into an epic shootout. Maggie knows Lance is coming for her, so she needs a babysitter, brings Herschel to Uncle Negan, and these two finally have a breakthrough. Maggie's like, look, Negan, I'm never gonna forgive you for Glenn, but after everything we've been through, now I trust you. So Maggie takes the fight to the Commonwealth soldiers, but she's ambushed and captured by Reaper Leah. Yes, Lance Hornsby found her hanging around, like, hey, wait, you want Maggie dead? I want Maggie dead. Let's work together. And so it's the final Maggie-Leah fight. In the end, Leah has the upper hand, but she's shot by Daryl, yes, who chose his best friend Maggie over his ex-girlfriend Leah. Lance Hornsby's rolling up with some stormtroopers, but Daryl takes a shot and grazes his cheek. And so our crew escapes for now, but Lance Hornsby is not happy. He decides to occupy Hilltop, flying the Commonwealth flag, and he occupies Alexandria too. No more foreign aid, you're now a Commonwealth colony. And don't forget, Oceanside is our third big community. Lance Hornsby rounds everyone up and flips his lucky coin. Oh man, is he turning into Two-Face? Would he execute all of Oceanside? Find out in the final 8 episodes of The Walking Dead. If you liked this recap, hit that subscribe button for more of the best recaps of TV and movies.